Well, obviously, I want to tell the listeners sometime in this episode, Mancow's going to make his guy's debut because Mancow's a Yelp guy.
Now, Lauren, are you a fan of, or I shouldn't say a fan? Do you know Mancow?
That's a reference that only really ever comes across when I'm listening to Bryan's podcasts.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are the same way with
We all know
the Grease man and stuff. It's like, I really don't need to know this person. Yeah, Mancow, it's remarkable to me that Mancow is doing Yelp reviews with his like own account,
real name
and everything like that as a public figure and just out there acting like a Yelp guy. But so I'm excited. I'm not often excited to hear Mancow stuff, but I'm excited for this.
Can I also say that Mancow could have made his name Eric Muller, and so many less people would find him on Yelp. It wouldn't be like but Mancow M is his name.
You think it's like a J.K. Rowling, Robert Galbraith thing where like her other novels couldn't succeed without like the J.K. branding on it?
Well, I think it's more that he wants people to know that it's him. Like he's desperate for any type of attention, and so he wants people. He doesn't want any anonymity here. He wants you to know this is Mancow and he is still out there doing stuff.
Yeah, that is his goal. I'll read you a Mancow right now, because it is very funny. What I did also, okay, here we go. I'm trying to find the one. Okay, here's Mancow reviewing Texas Christian University.
No, did he go to that university?
I don't think so.
He just visited, and this is like the off-the-cuff impressions from visiting like the gift shop and seeing a freshman dorm or something.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm trying to understand here. In what capacity do you visit the university? I mean, was he giving a talk? I hope not. I hope
no. When we get to the Columbus, so what I did was I found a person in DC, a person in Vancouver, and a person in Columbus too. When we get to the Columbus guy, the stuff he reviews is the craziest shit you've ever. Here's a Mancow review right here. It's for LF Juice Shop. And he says, the two delightful ladies, parentheses, sarcasm intended.
Oh, that's very, very cool. Because he recognized that in text it doesn't come across.
Doesn't translate. Yeah.
He gave him a 1 star.
I see. Yeah. Okay.
He goes, that open the store are there half hour late almost every single day. Would love to tell the owner or talk to a manager, but your machine doesn't accept messages. And I have a feeling that my many messages about the falsified store hours are not getting passed on to anyone in charge.
So he's like taxi drivering this place. He's there every day checking this out at like the crack of dawn, waiting for a half hour plus for his smoothie, multiple days a week.
Is there a chance he has the time? Is there a chance he has the time wrong? Is there a chance that he is misunderstanding what time they open at? Because I would not put that past him. But yeah, the idea of showing up and sort of scrutinizing whether or not they show up on time, and then putting "I would like to speak to a manager" in your Yelp review and not sort of realizing how that sounds is pretty awesome.
He goes, I have a feeling my many messages about the falsified store hours are not getting passed on to anyone in charge. Every day I see many people over that tedious half hour walk away angry. So
so he's trying to really showcase, hey, you're losing business here.
Yeah.
And and he said he's walking, like he's committing more than a full hour of every day to this.
I didn't even think about it.
I don't think a half hour to get there and a half hour to get back.
He's talking about the half hour wait. He sees people show up at the time that's posted on the store, and they're walking away in anger.
So yeah, he's getting there at the posted time. He shows up right at, like, it's supposed to be open at 7. He shows up at 6:59, turning to 7, and then he sort of just surveys the area and sees what happens, and he's like, "Oh, okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4." So then he can report it on his Yelp. It's very, very cool behavior for a multimillionaire to be doing with their time.
Well, one more Mancow here that it's one of my favorites. I don't even know if it's for a place called Da Yu Bati. I don't know. It's a restaurant.
Okay.
And he goes, recommended to me by the band Devo. That's
fair. That's actually very cool. That's actually very cool.
Yeah, that goes on the restaurant wall. Yeah, just clip the rest of the review out and just recommend it by Devo.
Is that like Whip It? Like they did. Is that their song?
Yes, they did make Whip It.
Wow. So imagine the guys from Whip It that make the Whip It song. They recommend you a restaurant. Well, I would be sure that it was going to be good at that point.
Oh, no. This was the place 20 years ago. Most of the locals scoffed when I said I was going to eat here. They are getting by on their past laurels, quote one woman.
Wait a second, this is him. He was something 20 years ago, and he's getting by on his. He doesn't have the self-awareness to realize this restaurant is him.
Yeah,
yeah. He's stuck in The Shining. He's in the sign on the wall.
Yeah. One woman at the nearby pharmacy was apoplectic about how horrible it was. The food was not horrible, but it was just okay. In Italy, that doesn't cut it. So this is an Italian place. He's in Italy. He loves to review stuff all over the world too.
This is in Italy.
Yes.
Why is he in Italy? I wonder.
Dude, he really does travel. Weirdly enough, like when I know that we saw that Peru thing and thought that, and a bunch of other people sent me it too and said Mancow did his latest episode in Peru. But we tried to watch it, and it was in his basement. He was talking about the time he went to Peru. So I don't. But I think he really goes to places. I know he went to Monte Carlo too, because I have a video saved on my phone of him lying and saying he's eating with somebody that's been dead for 20 years.
That's cool.
So he goes. The food, the service was friendly and excellent. The negatives, it was very muggy, and it's it's in an area that doesn't get much. Yeah, it's in an area that doesn't get much air. Stifling.
They can't do anything about that.
I mean, I get what it's in an area that doesn't get much air. What does that even mean?
It's humid. It's like, and Columbus is the same way, and DC is the same way. Like if there's just no wind during the summer, there's nothing anybody can do about it.
Yeah, it's muggy. It's probably like by a body of water or something. Yeah.
The waiter.
They're not going to put a bunch of dehumidifiers in the restaurant.
Yeah, the waiter asked that we tip him separately in cash. What? Also, they have a cover charge, which added €8 to our bill. €8? Why? Just because? €8 added for no reason at all as a cover charge, and they asked for a tip in cash separately. Either they are deluded or classless. Also very overpriced in an area that is already expensive. This place more so. Oh, and when we walked up, parentheses, up with reservation made days in advance, they asked that we please leave by 9. It was 7:30.
Okay, well, that's pretty standard at a restaurant, I will say. Like they'll have
especially last couple of years.
Yeah, like when busier restaurants, definitely they don't want people just lingering around. It's really bad for their business, and it's tough to make it as a restaurant. So I think that's a pretty standard thing that he's dealing with there.